Previously on that Cthulhu John.
Walter had walked into Rutherford Brightly's office. Allow me to introduce you to some people. This is Willis Freeman. Biology, biochemistry, Dr. Raquel McLeod. Linguistics, Professor Thomas Winklespect. Doctor of Mathematics.
I kind of just kept walking, wander around, think. Be that weird guy that sometimes is mumbling at himself and is swinging at nothing on the street.
You gotta pull it together.
Yeah, so, drowning everything in alcohol seems to be the right choice.
So if you're, if you're sick of, you needed some time away, how would you feel about going to Alaska?
Yeah, it sounds like an idea, honestly. I wouldn't mind getting away from here.
Mr. Pendergast, what if I told you that the world was at stake? To figure out the entire puzzle, we will have to resort to unusual methods. Mr. Pendergast, welcome to the Magus 5.
Welcome to that Cthulhu John.
Hello, thanks for joining us for That Cthulhu John, episode 30. We are a real play Call of Cthulhu podcast. I am George, your keeper of arcane lore. And with me are my friends and investigators, Chad.
Big 3-0.
Chuck.
Hello, baby.
And Jenny.
Happy New Year!
All right, guys. So, yeah, that's right. So, guys, when we last left off with Walter, he had just joined this society, this rather exclusive society called the Magus 5.
Magus 5.
We'll need to get the fourth to make some, bluesy Motown, something in between.
I suggested it. I did bring it up to him.
Nice.
So, while you're there in the room, you have just kind of met everyone, right?
Yeah, so is everybody still here? Willis, Thomas, and Dr. Raquel McLeod?
Yes, they are all still there for right now.
And Walter looks around, he's like, and you guys all know about this cube within a cube within a cube? And he looks a little puzzled, little unsure.
They all look at each other, and Tom speaks up and goes, well, we all know about the concept of it, but of course no one could actually view something like this.
Now he looks even more puzzled. Says, well, maybe I'm asking the wrong questions. Perhaps a better one would be, where do we begin?
I guess we could leave that up to Brightly. And Brightly chimes in and goes, well, Mr. Pendergast, the way that we would go about viewing this hypercube would be to perform I suppose you would call it a ritual?
Intriguing.
What this ritual does is it brings forth something that can travel between dimensions.
Ooh.
No.
He seems a little more concerned suddenly. Bring forth something?
When we do bring it forth, Mr. Pendergast, it will be bound to our collective willpower.
That sounds volatile, to say the least. But,
It's the only way, Mr. Pendergast, a hypercube can be arranged in a manner that the human mind can comprehend.
He pauses for a moment and takes a deep breath. When I had first encountered things of this nature, the one who had showed me, he showed me the effects of what this process had cost. Is there dangers or, permanent side effects from bringing forth this other... Well, I guess I don't fully understand.
It's okay, Mr. Pendergast. We don't expect you to fully understand.
Burn.
These things being of the nature they are, I guess it's hard to convey the true meaning of all of your words. Sometimes you have to see to believe.
Says to you, well, now that you are part of our little group here, you will see things beyond your imagination, Mr. Pendergast.
He kind of maybe nervously sips his coffee. Says, well, if things truly are at stake, as you said, then I suppose it's for the best.
Mr. Pendergast, do not think that I take this lightly. It is of the utmost importance that we do whatever is necessary to stop what is coming forth to destroy humanity as we know it.
Shit. Well, in that case, still on board 100%.
He says, very well. Mr. Pendergast, we'll leave you with our contact information. This ritual that we will be performing will be at the first new moon.
Forgive my lack thereof celestial knowledge. When is that?
Okay, hold on. I got that right here. The next new moon falls on March 21st.
Okay. Gosh, I forget in game what day is today.
Saturday. Julie only said it like 30 times.
Well, I remember that part.
When else do you listen to Leonard Skinner?
Saturday, come on.
Come on!
She kind of reminds me of John C. Reilly, and I don't know why.
Yeah, that's great.
It is March 3rd,
Sweet.
currently.
I guess this is all quite a lot to take in. Is there anything I should do to prepare in the meantime? Aside from continue pouring through the volumes of the Magus Speculum Magus that I have?
Mr. Pendergast, if you could continue unraveling the puzzle that is the Speculum Magus, at least the part that you have, that would be most helpful to our cause.
Yes, of course. I suppose, is there any sort of format that's best? Or I kind of, shorthand break them down on the notes I've taken so far. I guess maybe just to confirm that it's something that everyone can follow, or see if there's any, maybe check with Thomas and see if there's any kind of if he has any graphing preferences or, things of that nature that would be easier for him to kind of digest if he's going to be helping on the mathematical parts.
Well, Tom says to you, well, the best way to probably graph it out would be to put a grid in a cube. That way you can have very, very precise lines that connect through the cube.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Thanks. And, it kind of gets to thinking about that, and I guess if it's easiest, and he reaches into his jacket pocket and produces a few business cards, offers out 4 more to the other members of the Magus 5, or 3 more. I guess Rutherford has one.
So you hand out your business card to them, and they all in turn hand their card to you.
Ooh, look at us all.
It's the numbers to all their offices at the University of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Helpful reference for their field of expertise as well.
Brightly says to you, well, Mr. Pendergast, and this also applies to the rest of you, we will be reconvening here at the next new moon. Until then, Mr. Pendergast, feel free to ask anything you want of me or my colleagues. We will be expecting calls from you, I suppose, or perhaps visits, whatever you prefer. But this will be the end of our meeting, I believe.
Well, actually, with that offer, if you don't mind, perhaps I could show you a picture real quick. It's completely unrelated, I assume. But I picked up some pictures of something interesting I had come across via a friend recently. Does anybody happen to recognize this symbol, or have any leads on a way that I might pursue any other information on it? And I produced a picture of Heather's necklace and the symbol that it has on it.
Okay, so you produce it, and they all kind of gather around it, the other 4 professors. And they all take a look at it, and Brightly looks up to you and goes, "Tell me, where did you get the picture of this?"
Well, the photograph itself was taken by me. Recent events have led to some strange occurrences and revelations, this being one of them. The best I can tell is that it has some connection to Vietnam, perhaps. It was suggested, however, that it is much, much older than the 50s, being the last reference in time that I have of its whereabouts.
Brightly looks to you, and he looks around the circle real quick, and he says, "Mr. Pendergast, this could be something, I'm not sure. Give me a psychology roll."
Oh boy, we're reaching deep for this 14 here. 51, pretty far off.
All right. So Brightly says, this could be many things. These symbols are strange. It's, they don't look like anything I've seen before.
Well, I guess it is what it is. It's a bit of a mystery to me as well. I just figured you all being so worldly and seemingly having access to information which isn't so readily available to most. I picked up a whole roll of film. Does anybody have any interest in that as a reference, or should I? And he reaches to take it back.
Brightly says, yes. Would there be other angles of it in there? Perhaps that could help.
Sure. He produces the entire roll of prints, or I guess the stack of prints, and says, feel free to take a look
The
through.
developed film.
Yeah.
So he starts flipping through them, and the other 3 of them kind of lean back, don't seem that interested in it. He looks through them and goes, this could be perhaps some sort of just artist's rendition of some sort of symbol of some sort. I honestly cannot tell you what the symbol could mean.
Yeah. I guess it has a few strange characteristics. It also seems to be very resistant to heat and always seems to be cold. The thing of most note was, I don't know if any of you are believers in the psychic profession, but incidentally, the friend who I mentioned owning this, she had a reading, was told that it was of a place long forgotten. I don't know. It just sounded out there enough, and kind of gets a little Twilight Zone reminiscent in his manner of speaking. But, no matter. I just figured worth a shot. It's been on my mind as of late, and I'll probably do a little more research.
And he says to you, well, Mr. Pendergast, I think we'll be going our separate ways right now. We will reconvene again on the new moon on the... What date was it, Mr. Pendergast?
March 21st, if not sooner. He smiles a bit and finishes his coffee.
Right, yes. March the 21st, we will all reconvene. Thank you all for coming, and we'll be in touch.
Mm-hmm. He gathers up the pictures and stows them away. As well, thanks everyone. It's been a genuine pleasure.
Okay, so Rachel McLeod and Tom Winklespect both say bye to you. They say, nice meeting you, that kind of thing, and they leave. And do you leave as well?
Yeah, not too much else to do there at this point. Think it's time to head on home. Oh, wait a minute. I thought actually I was going to head on over to the fireside later today, come to think about it.
Okay.
It's still relatively early, right? He looks at his watch, pulls his sleeve back,
Meeting started at 4, and that's right. You guys were at the fireside a little bit early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I do believe so.
All right. So we'll say that the whole meeting took about a half an hour. I know it didn't seem that long, but there was a little bit of banter in between there, we're going to say.
Yeah, sure. We had to get coffee and all that stuff.
Exactly. There was that little break there. So about a half hour later, it's 4:30, and Walter, you go to leave, and you go to close the door to Brightly's office, and behind you is still Brightly and Professor Freeman. And you go to close the door and give me a listen roll.
Dang it. 49 will not do it.
All right, so you start to hear them say something to each other just faintly. Do you want to push the roll or spend the luck?
No, I'm going to save the luck. He's pretty low as it is.
Do you want to push the roll?
Oh, push the roll. I'm sorry.
Do it.
Nah, he's not even going to be rude if he fails it. I think he's going to let it ride.
Okay. When most people say let it ride, that means they're going to roll the dice again. But
That's true. I'm sorry.
I was kind of hoping you would. But that's all right. Anyway, so you go to leave Brightly's office, and you see that when they get to the end of the hall, Rachel and Tom split ways. We'll say Tom goes to the left and Rachel goes to the right.
Well, I mean, still kind of early, and the funeral coming up tomorrow. I guess Walter might be kind of in the mood to have a drink or two, so it's going to head on out and down to South Philly.
All right. So you head on back down to good old South Philadelphia. We'll say traffic's bad and it takes another 30 minutes.
It's rush hour.
Yeah. On a Saturday.
Where's he coming from? University City?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta cross one of those bridges.
I got to cross the Schuylkill.
Yep.
Try to take the South Street Bridge, and that's probably like the worst idea. Intersections like all jammed up constantly. Yuck.
Yeah. So Walter, you get home around 5. You gonna head on to the fireside?
Yeah, I mean, he probably wouldn't even go home. He'd probably just go straight to the fireside. I mean, there's nothing really at home that he needs, I guess.
So you park your car up out front of the fireside?
Yeah.
All right, so inside the fireside, you push open the door, and you see Lenny and Heather.
What time is it?
There's about 5 o'clock. Aren't you both there?
So the sun's probably still up. Which way is the bar facing?
Maybe a tiny bit.
Everyone yells again.
Yeah, you open the
Yeah, if it's
the sun pours in.
if it's facing the sunset, that's a bad time to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Get that golden light, but like that low angle light, so all the shadows are 47 feet long.
Mega blinding.
Yeah. So you get that sun just kind of beam right through. And, all the patrons at the bar are like, oh, God, close the door.
They all turn into bats. Just flop away.
So, Walter, you walk in and you see Lenny and Heather there. You close the door behind you pretty quickly. And you see Lenny and Heather talking to each other.
Like adjusting my eyes. Probably would have looked at him and seen him. Nod.
And as you walk in, you see the jukebox and you see Julie over at the jukebox playing some songs.
Oh, shit.
Looks like she partied her purse off again.
Well, if she doesn't notice me, I'm going to try to play it off and slink over to a seat. But if she does, I guess it is what it is.
Let's see if she notices you.
Lucky you.
Nope.
So, yeah, he kind of slinks down a little bit and shuffles off towards Lenny over there in the corner.
All right. So you guys are all together. You going to compare some notes, or?
Lenny, good to see you.
Hey, Walter.
Heather,
Long time no
you
see.
too.
Lenny is quite tired and beaten up looking still.
Kind of looks you up and down.
About the same as he's seen him last, except he's been showered.
Well, gosh, Heather, what do you say? You still got some cold cores back there?
Sure do. I grab him one. Probably got Lenny another one.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that one's on me. And I'll put down a 50. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Did they exist in the 80s?
Over here.
I thought it was like all $2 bills and like.
I had an argument recently. Somebody said there wasn't $500 bills, but there were.
I'm gonna act like I knew that was
Yeah,
ever
but
a
they're
thing.
not in circulation, right?
Not anymore, no. I think they stopped making them. But it wasn't like that long ago.
All right, so you guys are all together.
Uh-huh.
I would say Walter probably takes like a big, like third of the pint, kind of a couple chugs just to catch up a little bit, but also to maybe try to process some of the things that he heard about at the meeting.
Yeah, I definitely ask him how his meeting was. How was your secret meeting?
I guess good. And he kind of shrugs a little bit. I mean, it seems like it's important to pursue, but I am a little worried, honestly.
I know that feeling.
I'll drink to that. He kind of stops himself mid-sentence and takes another big gulp or two. I guess, the things that I had been reading about and trying to, mark down or plot, they discussed the method of kind of pursuing it further, but I don't know. I guess there's some details of the process, which I'm unclear of, that maybe leave me a bit hesitant.
You're starting to sound like me when I'm trying to explain some things, Very cryptic there, Walter.
Yeah, could you guys be any more cryptic about everything that happens in your lives? Like, it's a book club, right? You're just in a book club. You guys are, like, reading each other the different parts of the books that you have.
First rule of book club.
Never talk about book club.
This is your first night at book club. You have to read.
Oh.
He says, yeah, I guess on the surface, that's an easy way of putting it, but it seems like there might be a lot more there. I just kind of hope what Brightly's telling me is true, but he kind of shrugs again and says, they seem on the level enough. I asked him about your necklace, but they didn't seem to know much about that.
This is the guy that roughed up the bookstore, yeah? Same guy? The baseball team and all that?
It is.
I guess you two
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is the guy I got beat up for?
I think you kind of just got beat up. I don't know.
He puts his head down a little bit.
He wasn't even there.
She definitely laughs like this back at you.
Walter has a hard time not kind of smirking at that, but he keeps his head low and tries to hide it. He says, well, yeah, I think so. I mean, all the other members have the rest of the collection of books that I bought. So, in a sense, I mean, we kind of are working together. What's the old saying that necessity often makes for strange bedfellow? He drinks a little bit more of his beer. You notice it's probably like 70% empty at this point. He's been drinking it pretty
I just
quick.
grab him another one.
Working together on what? What are you translating these old books or?
Well, I mean, this probably sounds crazy, but I think they have a method of using someone else to find the answers that these books contain. It's the someone else that kind of worries me. I don't think he's from around here, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you worried about paying for long distance calls or what?
Maybe paying the toll of flesh, and he kind of rubs the freshly healing bite wound on his shoulder.
Oh my god, you're not bringing that creature back, are you?
He says, no, I hope not that creature, but I mean, what if it's something similar? That's the part that worries me.
Heather does a shot immediately.
I hold my head in my hands. I don't know what I saw.
Your bloody hands.
So, Walter, as you get a little... Do you tell them about this ritual?
I mean, he started to tell them to kind of gauge their response to it. Because, I mean, Walter, as he's saying it or even thinking about describing this, he assumes that he's going to sound like a crazy person. And he only loosely understands what he's talking about. So, I mean, that doesn't really help matters either. But what about you guys? I mean, as I tell you that I'm thinking about maybe trying to use something like the Child of Ithaca to pursue these answers here. I mean, do you guys kind of grasp what I'm telling you about that part?
Like a seance?
He kind of nods. And has like a real weird look on his face.
You're gonna bring back that monster in a
I
seance?
kind of shake my head a little bit. I don't say anything yet.
This is I don't think it's that monster, thank goodness. But I mean, if it is something similar, Eugene, the smaller of the two Russian guys that we met before, I mean, he showed me his hands. He did something to make Millie, I guess, disappear that time when we were at the auction the first time we saw one of those creatures. And whatever he said or shouted, it made the tips of his fingers all black, like real bad frostbite. Rutherford said that they could control whatever it is this seance is all about. But I mean, I don't know. I guess obviously there's things that could go wrong. And what about, what if there's some kind of terrible or painful or, some kind of price that once paid can't be taken back kind of thing? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rambling.
Yeah, but if you're splitting that price with a few other people, maybe you can get yourself a discount. You know what I mean?
He kind of smiles at that, and
you can figure out a way around it.
Yeah, he kind of chuckles nervously and finishes the first beer and sets that pint down.
Look, if what you say is there's some mumbo jumbo in those books, it's gonna make your whole life better, I wouldn't trust it. But maybe there's some more in those books that you can use to find a way around giving away too much, I guess. I don't know. Say anything in those books about snakes?
Well,
me and Heather here were just talking about all these snakes I've been seeing. So she's seeing symbols, I'm seeing snakes. I didn't really tell you before, Walter, but yeah, kind of. I'm opening up, huh? Let's get a couple more shots, by the way, Heather. I better eat soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is actually mention of a serpent folk. What? Tell me more. What are you saying? Snakes?
There's somebody I know has been acting fucking funny. Somebody I work with. Working the other day, I was out of town. I was injected by this gentleman here with some kind of, I don't know what. I started seeing. He's turning into snakes. I'm turning into snakes. Things that shouldn't have been going down were going down. And anyway, yeah, so I was abandoned out in the Poconos, and you kind of know the rest from when you picked me up.
Is that kind of like when you shouted when we were driving and you thought we hit someone? He takes another long swig of his beer too.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of involved, sort of. I mean, he wasn't a snake. It's just some dead guy I've been seeing.
Do you think it can stop me from seeing all these squiggles? Like, if you do this seance? Is it gonna make us all normal again?
All we gotta do is, cut out a few hearts afterward, no big deal.
Cut out some hearts, go to Alaska, do a seance, and then bingo bango, we're all
Yeah.
normal again, right? Let's do a shot.
Plenty of time to retire in Cabo. Or somewheres, I don't know.
Walter pauses for a moment. He says, gosh, I haven't really eaten much today. Maybe I should nurse this one. And he starts to sip the shot. He kind of sighs. He says, Heather, I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like what I was afraid of if this thing with Millie and all these other Ithaca children hadn't been dealt with, that could have been a big problem for everybody. I think this seance or the things in the books that it mentions, I think it's another event, another terrible
Oh my god.
thing that
Oh my god, I can't even think about that.
he lets out a long sigh.
I guess
and
I don't know. I think you should do it then. I don't know.
sits back in his chair. Yeah,
She
it's
starts kind of freaking out, and then she's like pacing the bar to like see if anybody needs a drink, but nobody does, and she just like needs to walk away for a second 'cause she's losing her shit. And she's probably pretty drunk by now. I think I said about 5 shots.
I guess it could be related. I don't know. That'd be pretty coincidental, right? I mean,
I don't know, but if it says anything about antidotes to, psychotropic drugs or whatever, let me know.
Snake arm antidote.
well,
Yeah, I get these weird snake hands, and then I've been seeing shit.
he pulls out his little book that you've seen him use many times over, and he says, "Lenny, do me a favor. Just tell me just about anything you can think of that seems relevant, and I'll see what I can find out." And he turns. Actually, you know what he does? He goes to the back of the book, flips it upside down, and he starts writing anything you tell him in there.
Starting to write like a madman. That's the first step.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. It would be upside down if you're reading it from the back, but
No, I like it.
Barry Hunter S. Thompson right there. He does a shot of whiskey, shoots a gun in the air, and he starts writing upside down.
this is, I really don't know, but there's 16 books. I can pour through them best I can and see if there's anything that matches up with what you're saying here.
All right, like there was, like I said, snakes. Snake arms, snake hands, snake fingers, snake men,
It could be out of character, but
some kind of drug.
Wait, how many books are there?
Many?
Wait, I forget.
He's got
Do I have
16.
16, right? Oh no, I'm sorry. I have 14 books total. Pardon me.
14 books total. Okay.
I remember, there was a weird, like, purple flower that this gentleman had that I'd never seen him have before. Recently, I recall. It's a little fuzzy. I don't know what I was doing in his office, but I saw it behind him. It stood out. He never was like a plant guy, Anyway, and then, so just the other day I was injected with a rather long, scary needle.
Well, this should be helpful. Like I said, there's a lot of books, but fortunately, you live a few doors down from me. If I find anything that I think you should know about, I'll check with you. But this seance, or whatever, as Heather called it, did you come back, Heather, or are you still pacing?
No, I'm back.
Okay.
It's just like a quick back and forth. Like, I just need to walk away for like 1 second because I'm drunk and I don't know if what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing.
Got
And
a coffee machine here at the bar. I want you put on some coffee there. I think we could all use it. We'll order some food.
yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I got the funeral tomorrow. I should probably at least every other whiskey have a coffee or something.
Or some water.
You got that classic drip with the hot plate underneath it and the large like pitcher of coffee, glass one.
Mm-hmm.
The coffees always taste kind of burnt just because it sits there all the time.
Some asshole heated the pot with nothing in it once.
Mm-hmm.
And so you pour you guys yourself some coffee, just to keep drinking. And what time do you guys stay there till?
I mean, what is preferred? A bit later. Maybe not all night.
Yes,
especially if it dies out, we'll close early or whatever. But,
is there anything that needs to be done to prepare for the funeral tomorrow?
I don't know. I don't really know if I should go. Only time I met Millie was... Yeah, I met Millie once. It was at the art gallery, so I feel a little weird about going. Never even really seen a picture of her.
No, you came with me to see her in the
hospital.
In the hospital when she was like weightlifting.
Oh, that's right. I guess that's twice.
I want to say I probably, like, if it's slow, shut it down a little early. Like,
You got a funeral. I think it's fair.
I don't want to go home, but I got to get up early.
It's Saturday.
Right. It does start to kind of die out a little bit around 1 in the morning. People are just getting a little too drunk and then kind of stumbling out.
Yeah, help her out. Start taking out trash and shit.
You have a ride to the funeral, or would you like a ride tomorrow?
Yeah, you know what? I could use a ride if that's okay with you. I have to go a little bit early because I have the the picture collages. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. The memory boards.
Memory boards, yeah.
Memory board. I just felt like there's a classier way to say it than like a diorama of.
These are all pretty classy words.
I'm not good with the words when we're doing this.
I wish I had some pictures to contribute, but I'm sure that'll be nice. Well, yeah, I guess if there's anything I can do to help out, if we're closing early, I'll put up some chairs or whatever else we need to do to close this place down.
All right, so as you guys are closing up, before you lock the door, there's one guy that comes in. He looks a little, I guess, chilly or something. He's like shaking a little bit. And he comes in from the cold. And he sits down at the bar. And Heather, I guess you go over to him.
Is this after I called last call? Like, were we just about to leave, or?
Yeah, like pretty much close to when you were about to leave.
All right, yeah, I'll go over and I just tell him, hey, hon, like, if you want a beer, I can get you a beer, but it's going to be last call after that. I don't want to push you back out in the cold right away, so.
He goes, yeah, I'll take a beer. Give me a psychology roll.
Yes. 9.
Ooh.
Wow, extreme.
Mark off psychology if you haven't. Nice.
I already got it marked off, baby. It's the only thing I passed. Not spot hidden, that's for sure.
So, Heather, you see that this guy, something seems off about this guy. He seems a little shakier than maybe even the cold. He keeps scratching at his face and stuff. He seems all just kind of jittery in general. And Lenny, since you were helping out, and Walter, since you were helping out too, give me a spot hidden roll from you two guys.
Ooh, 95.
Walter, you're facing completely the wrong direction.
Oh my go.
91. I was outside dumping bottles.
Guys.
So both of you guys kind of failed on that
I
one.
should have warmed these up.
I guess it's too much to spend luck on.
Oh yeah, no, you might hear some bottles dumping outside, all the clinking and all the glass breaking in the dumpster or something. Walter's...
Wouldn't even hear the
Walter's like,
screams.
I don't know how you would push this roll, so All right, so Walter, what are you doing right now? Stacking bar stools?
Yeah, he's probably just putting bar stools up on the bar.
And Lenny, you're taking out trash to the dumpster out back?
Mm-hmm.
All right. When you come back with the beer, this guy pulls out a gun and points it at you and goes, listen, just be calm. And he scratches his face a little bit. He says, just be calm and give me the money from the register and I'll get out of here and no one gets hurt.
He points it at me?
Yeah, it's pointed at you.
Okay, so I give him all the money from the register.
All right. Walter, give me a listen roll.
Oh, come on. 90. Boy, look at this
Guys,
spinning top on this bar stool.
Wouldn't it be funny if I beat a monster, but I just get shot by a meth head, like, so randomly?
That's how it goes. Yeah. It's like a Alanis Morissette song.
Isn't it ironic?
He sees you starting to go through the drawer, getting the money out, and he goes, just give me the drawer.
All right, so I lift the drawer thingy out.
Mm-hmm.
The little money thing, and I just am shaking, hand it to him.
Okay. So you hand it to him, and Walter, you, like I said, are facing completely
I was
the
saying
wrong
probably
direction.
like yelling or crying or something too.
Yelling?
Crying, more crying, not yelling.
Crying.
Like, "Ah."
Too bad Julie left already.
Match made in heaven. You like Skinnerd?
All right, so you hand him the drawer from the register, and let me get a luck roll out of you.
Would it be enough crying and yelling for a listen roll from me?
No, you're outside, and she's not yelling; she's just crying.
All right. Oh my god, guys. 47. And I have 50.
Noise. Sounds like a pass to me.
Lucky.
That does sound like a luck pass. So as this guy's running out the door, Lenny comes in the door.
Oh wait, I thought it was listen.
No, that was what I was asking. He said luck.
Luck.
Luck. Okay, I have 63 in luck anyway. That's fine.
All right, good. Yeah, so it's a luck roll, and you passed it. And as this guy's starting to run out the door, Lenny comes in the door.
Just run into my chest.
He sees you, pauses for a second, and then goes to bump.
Do I see the gun or anything?
Give me spot hidden, I guess.
Wads of cash?
You see him walking out with a drawer full of cash.
Oh man, 93.
Whoa, a lot of
just
90s.
Lift the trash can over. I'm like, whoops, excuse me. Take it easy.
You put it on top of your head so that you don't see anything that's happening.
All right, give me an opposed strength roll now.
Okay.
Can I yell to Lenny like he just robbed me?
Of course you can.
Yes.
All right, well, I probably yell that. Like he just robbed the register.
Extreme.
What?
He's got a gun.
Wow, this guy had a hard pass.
14.
Extreme.
All right, so this guy goes to bump into you, and you just put your force all into him, and he falls on his ass on the ground.
Okay, now I must surely notice the money and shit's sprawling out on the floor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's coins spilling everywhere.
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
You just start picking up the bottles again.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. This must be yours. This is no way to carry money around with you. You should get a wallet, dude.
You should get a cash register for that drawer.
Yeah, give me the register.
So this guy falls on the floor, yeah.
Does he... All right. So now I'm starting to figure out what's going on.
Walter's like, what the hell?
Does that mean we go into, like, combat, or how... Because, if I realize he just robbed the place, I'm going to crack this guy on the face
All right, he goes...
while he's on the ground.
While he's on the ground. He's prone right now, so I'm going to roll for him to pull his gun out. Actually, no, he has to roll for initiative. All right, but he's going to roll at disadvantage, or not disadvantage, a penalty die.
What does that mean?
You rolled an extra
Roll an
10,
extra 10.
and you get to take the shittier of the two rolls, which is a fail for his dexterity.
Can I try to knock it out of his hand instead if I see that's what he's trying to pull out?
You can try to kick it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna kick the shit out of his hand.
All right.
How much of this does Walter see as well? Like, does this take place in the doorway, or is this back in the bar now once he falls?
Yeah, it's closer to the doorway. Walter, you're like all the way in the back.
I'd probably still be standing in the open door.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to give me a dexterity roll.
Me?
Yeah, you and Walter too, since he's hearing this. Anyone who's going to possibly enter combat here.
Pass. Regular pass.
Regular pass. Okay, so you go before this guy does.
And I mean, just to check though, I mean, like, how much of this can Walter see? I mean, I guess maybe his first response wouldn't be to pull a gun if he doesn't see a gun. So I mean, like,
Well, you see this guy reach for his pocket and he pulls out his gun, and you see the money on the floor, and you see. I'm pretty sure at this point you can see the gun. He's laying on the floor, pointing it up. But Lenny gets
He's about to point it up.
I gotcha.
Actually, you already.
Is
No,
this
you.
brawl?
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to do a brawl roll.
Brawl roll.
Brawl roll.
Brawl roll.
Can Heather be calling the cops as this is happening, or is it all happening so
pass.
quickly? Like, this is like seconds.
I rolled a 17 out of 50.
Wow. All right.
Brawl roll.
So that's a good brawl roll. Is that that's not extreme? That's a hard pass. All right. Well, it's good enough that.
But if
you
I have
can-
to spend the 7 luck, I might.
No,
Oh, it's good enough to kick the shit out of
it's
his
good
hand.
enough to kick his hand that has the gun in it. Give me a damage roll if you it is, which I believe is just 1d3.
1d3 plus a DB.
If you hit him for more than 3, the gun will fly out of his hand.
All right, so that's a 2 and a 1. 3 points.
There you go. And you kick his hand, and the gun flies out of his hand. He goes to grab at his fingers.
My fingers.
I think you fucked up his hand pretty bad there.
Okay. Yeah, 3 points.
3 points is a nice chunk of health there.
But the gun goes sliding across the room and towards you, Walter.
Oh, well, shit. He hastily reaches to grab it and keep it away from this asshole. Any rolls involved? Dexterity, maybe?
No, just if you're just picking it up, I mean, you can just pick it up.
Yeah, he'll do that first turn, make sure that it's away from this dude.
All right, so you pick it up, and the guy's just on the ground right now, Lenny. And looks like he's going to try to get up.
I'm going to.
Clobber in town.
You can try. I'm going to try to use my fist to keep him on the ground. Hey, good going there, Walter. You just keep that trained on him, but I'm going to get a punch in if I can before he gets up.
Is that what you do, Walter? Keep the gun aimed at him?
Actually, I'd like to inspect it and see if it's loaded and appears to be functional before anything else.
How much it's worth.
Okay, so you're going to take your turn doing that. Walter, give me a dexterity roll, since you're actually entering combat right now.
He fails. He just puts the safety on and like turns it to the side.
He's appraising it as he's does it.
So you failed your dexterity roll?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your dexterity?
40.
40. Okay, this guy's dexterity is a little lower, so he's still going to go last in the fight order. So, Lenny, you go first. As he's trying to get up, you give him the old knuckle sandwich.
If I can.
All right, so go to fight him. He's going to fight back.
Woof. Not going to do it. 68.
64 is not going to do it for him either. So you both go to struggle with each other. He stands up, and I'm going to say that you go to punch him, but he tries to maneuver around you.
Stalemate.
Yeah. And Walter, what are you doing? It's your turn. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, you spent your turn examining the gun.
Yeah, he puts the safety on it first, and I guess see maybe what kind of gun is it? Are we talking about a revolver, or is this a?
It's a revolver, like a snub nose.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if it's a revolver rather than safety, you might even just fucking eject the bullets. Just open the revolver, and just let the bullets spill out, just in case. You ain't trying to have nobody get shot up in this bitch.
Okay, so I'm going to say you go to inspect it, and you pull it out, and you see that it is loaded, and then you dump it out. That'll be your action this turn.
Yeah. You got it.
All right, so this guy's going last, and he is not going to try to fight back. He's just going to try to run. Do you want to pursue him?
Can I try to trip him as he runs by or anything? Or as he runs out, or
Well,
grab him? I guess that would be. I guess I'll pursue if I must.
It's his turn. He's using it to exit.
I'm still pretty much in the doorway. He would have to go. He would have to get past me.
He is going around you. So that'll be the start of the new round. He's going around you. What do you do?
Okay. I'm gonna try to trip him, I guess.
Okay, that'll be a brawl move. And I'm going to see you give him a spot hidden.
Put my foot out.
Yeah, with Three Stooges move. I like it. All right.
Am I going first?
Poke him in the eyes.
Oh wait, who's spot hidden? That dude or me?
This guy's rolling pretty bad. He didn't do his spot hidden, so he doesn't see you put his leg out. And...
I rolled a 9. That's an extreme.
Ooh, okay. Let's see if he gets an extreme with a penalty die, and he does not. So you trip him pretty good, and
Push him forward from the shoulder, throw him to the ground. I guess just outside the door.
all right, throw him to the ground just outside the door, and as he hits that concrete, ooh, 3 points of damage to him.
Okay, so his hand hurts and his face hurts.
Knock his frickin' teeth out.
Yeah, his nose is all bloody now, gushing out blood. He might have chipped a tooth or something.
Walter, you see Lenny walks outside and the door begins to close.
Yeah, I mean, he was actually going to be a little bit closer this round. I mean, my thought was to just club him with pistol, but if he's running, that's different.
Ain't you running yet?
Yep.
Walter ain't gonna let you just, get boxed up by some crackhead or something. I don't know.
So you have the guy outside there. Do you follow, Walter?
I do.
Okay, so
I say, call the police, and I do pursue out the door.
You're gonna be up all night.
I was literally just gonna yell that. Like, should I call the
No.
cops?
Do not. We don't.
I was
need
thinking
that.
no. I mean, especially now that you've...
Been kind of taken care of, but I'm still working on it, huh?
all right, so you're
Well, that's up to you.
so you're outside. Walter is behind you, and this guy's on the ground. He rolls over and goes, "Oh no, stop! I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
I think Lenny's in like a fragile state where he really wants to take some aggression out.
It makes sense to me.
So I think the next move would probably be is it the kick in the ribs? Is that like the usual one? I think so. If he's still on
That's
the ground.
standard.
The old soccer kick, yeah.
And he's on the ground. He's going to do a dodge roll with bonus die. Not a bonus die, with a penalty die. Because he's prone.
Hard pass.
Just a regular pass from him.
20.
All right, so you kick him in the ribs, and 1d6 plus 1d4.
1d3 plus.
Oh,
damage.
1d3, yeah.
Which
sorry.
I'm obviously. Yes, I am using a d6.
Yeah.
Do the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's the same thing again. So it's a 2 and a 1.
All right, so
3
you
points.
kick this guy again.
Pieced up.
Yeah.
Jesus. I feel like Heather runs out from behind the bar now and is like, stop.
Yeah, right.
This guy, you might have
Like-
broken a rib on him at this point. He's like, and he tries to spin over and tries to get up.
Walter kind of grabs you. He says, he might have learned his lesson there. Gosh, don't get yourself in trouble there, Lenny.
And the guy starts to stand up.
Nobody's around, Walter.
The guy starts to stand up and he grabs his ribs and starts to try to run away. That's his turn.
Well, Walter's not going to pursue this dude.
No, I'm not gonna chase after him. If he didn't get us so quick, I might have.
Better not come back around here, you punk ass.
What'd you say there, Lenny?
If he didn't, hop up so quick and try to get away, I might have. I'm not gonna pursue.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of stand there.
So he runs away without the cash or anything and gripping his ribs, and you see a trail of blood from his nose behind him.
Walter's cool head had a way of pulling me back a little bit.
All right, so he runs away.
Yeah, that would be 1 hit point away from death for Walter, so he thought he might want to intervene at that
Just gonna
point.
stand in the middle of the sidewalk, just watching him run for a second. No reason to call nobody. We got it all sorted. Just put that drawer back together. Let's get out of here.
All right, so guys, I think that's where we're going to end this session with an act of heroism.
I heard a man. Whew. I heard a man good.
All right, is it luck time?
Walter'd be on his deathbed if that was
I
him.
was wondering that myself. I think it might be.
I'm going to say yeah.
It makes sense to me. And that way it's easy. It'll be 30, right? Every 3 games. Even though it didn't start that way, but it makes sense.
Right. So if you guys roll your percentile dice, and if you get over your luck.
So 30, y'all. What's up with that?
Oh, now I finally get a low roll.
Best roll
Roll
I've
over
ever
the
rolled.
luck. Yes. I haven't gotten luck the last 2 times. 58 this time. I got a 6.
All right, so add 6 to your luck.
I shall.
Chad, Jenny, did you guys get luck rolls in?
Nah, sadly, I rolled a 22.
Oh, I see.
That stinks.
Poop the bed. I got 13.
You want that during the rest of the game, but not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I just thank our listeners for joining us for episode 30. I also want to thank our newest Patreon member, Andrew Fletcher. Thanks for supporting us, dude. And we'll see you next time. But until then, remember, sanity is overrated.
That's what the end always sounds like to me when you end it.
Do you have any with the necklace on feet?
I knew it.
I'm sorry.
That's a different
This is
podcast.
now a feet podcast.
I can't help it. It's.
Fuck. Hey, this is George. Just a quick reminder to like, follow, and review us if you like what you're hearing. And if you want to support us and make our show better, head on over to our Patreon. You can always email us at contact@thatcthulhujohn.com with any comments. And you can follow us on Instagram @thatcthulhujohn.